Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Dominic Spicer. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur from the UK and I'm on my road to make my first $1 million before I'm 30. So, what is today's video? So today's video is how you can increase your response rate from emails and potentially turn that lead into a prospect and turn that prospect into a paying client. So let's get straight into today's video. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell notification, and also leave a like. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video, but also helps me grow this channel, and I hugely appreciate all the support. So how can you increase your cold emailing response rate? Because obviously a lot of people will tell you, oh Dom, cold emailing is dead, mate. Like it is dead if you do it wrong, you know, like it's not going to work if you just don't put the effort in. And what I mean by the effort, a lot of people will just get a cold emailing. What they'll do is they'll go to Google and they'll search up cold emailing template. They'll go to the first option. They'll copy that template. They'll change the company name, maybe change the service, and then they'll sign it off. And then they'll be like, oh, that'll be brilliant. I'll get many clients. They'll send out maybe 500 emails per month. And each one of those, maybe 10 people will become a lead. And then maybe 2 of them become prospects and maybe 1 will pay you. Maybe. Very often not, because it's often just seen as spam. You're just selling a service. But though you're still selling a service, you can provide value. And this is what I use. I use for 10 times personalization rule for all of my cold emailing. And I put a lot more effort into these. You know, though I used to maybe sell out 200 emails per week, I get a really poor return. I decided, well, maybe let's go it down to 20 to 50 people per week. If that is literally near the lower end, and just hugely personalize these emails, provide as much value as possible, all free of charge, because you want to try and give them a reason to trust you, a reason to talk to you, a reason to sort of understand what you're going to do for them. And if you're providing value to them, they're more likely to go here rather than, you know, just trying to sell them your website. So how can you provide value? Well, this is the way I would do it. So let's say they've got a crappy looking website. I would go on OBS. I'd get my webcam, which is actually my camera, because I don't want to buy a webcam. I just use my camera, it's easier. Plug my mic in, make it sort of professional, you know, stuff like that. I'd go onto their website and I'd give them an overview of what their website is in the moment, you know, and how well it's performing, how poorly it's performing. Maybe their web loading speeds are quite slow and how people will click off is over 3 seconds. How they're not capturing leads, you know, they could be losing out on potential sales. How it's not mobile friendly, that is huge. A lot of websites that have a bad layout on desktop often will have a bad layout on mobile. And then they're missing out because 72% of people nowadays are on their phone looking on Google and websites. So, you know, you've got to try and sell to why they're missing out on potential sales in the moment. And you're like, okay, that's good. You're providing them tips, you know, you're providing them with value. Now, so not only are you going to be providing them with value, but you want to actually give them a bit more of a judgmental overview of their website. And yes, you are going to be providing judgmental overview through like giving them advice and that, but you could actually give a little bit of a scarcity factor, and that's in terms of, for example, a lot of websites that don't have a great looking website, they don't have an SSL active, and I read that in a couple of years that Google just won't display websites that aren't HTTPS, so they're not secure. So if their website isn't secure, in a couple of years, it's just not going to be on Google, and that's going to be a huge problem. If they don't have an SSL active, for most cases, people won't be able to access their website. You know, Google will warn that person, say, this website isn't secure, it's dangerous, and they'll just want them to click off. And then that client that you're reaching out to is losing out on a potential sale. So you've got to add value, you've got to add a bit of judgmental, but you've got to add a bit of a scarcity factor. You add that, and that's one part of my personalization email, and that takes around 5 minutes. I try not to keep it any longer. Now, the next part is what I would do is I would actually go onto my personal website, and I'll go to my private page, which is actually my demo page. And what I had done in the previous week or prior to making these OBS recordings is I would actually redesign their website. So I'd go from like, so all these tips are valuable. I do hope you apply them, whether you apply them yourselves or you send them to your web designer and they apply them. What you'd want to do is be like, well, what I've done is I've actually taken your website and I've redesigned it just to show you the potential of what your website could look like, but not only what it could look like, but you could potentially grow your sales because of things that, you know, you could be including more CTAs, or you could actually have a better booking system, or your SSL needs to be active, or your web loading speeds could be faster. You know, there's so many things that you can provide, and within that demo page, you can show a lot of that. You give them like a 2 to 5 minute overview of that website, and then you might say at the end of it, so this is what your website could look like. If you want to speak further about this, either call this number, reply, we can book a further meeting, or whether you want to go over email. You know, think about what your clients want best. Some industries are actually different. For example, you'll see a lot of like maybe dentists or law firms, they might have a receptionist, so the receptionist actually refers to the owner. You might see with electricians or plumbers, they actually have their phone in their pocket all the time, so you actually want to send that by a text, and maybe just send it to a YouTube link. So that's how I've increased my cold email response rate, and also have got more clients from doing it this way. You know, a lot of people will just do the copy and paste and send it out and think that's fine, but I would actually rather send less emails than 500 emails per week. You know, I'd rather send 20 to 50 emails compared to the likes of 500 that are a lot more higher quality and provide value, because then I'm more likely to secure them as a client, and that's the end goal. You want to secure them as a client. Now, the great thing about having that personal touch at the start, you're building trust with them, and if you build trust with them, you can not only sell them that website, but you could upsell other services. For example, I have a web hosting business, I had a Cloudways account, I have a private server, really powerful, and I would put some of my clients' websites on that server. So I'm selling them a further service that they would charge. Like I would charge them a monthly subscription, let's say from anywhere from £10 to £100 per month. It really depends on how powerful their website is, you know, how big it is, how much traffic it gets, etc. You could upsell them a further service, web hosting. A lot of websites that have a sort of a crap look to it, they don't have a logo. If they don't have a logo, you could upsell them that service. If maybe you're a photographer and you're selling to e-commerce, you could ask them to send their products to you, and you could do a little product photography sort of shoot, and you know, send those photos back to that website, back to that client, or you could even put the photos on that website that you've just built. There's so much you can do that you can provide extra value to a customer and just make you more money. You know, that's the end goal. You're not doing this for free. You do want to make this a business, and you can make it a very profitable business if you do put the effort in. So yeah, guys, that is the end of today's video. I do hope it has provided value to you. If you do have any questions, then do leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you do enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment. If you haven't already, do subscribe and hit that bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.